welcome back to another Ceramic Hour live stream. Today we're just going to continue working on our little cat trinket dishes. We have 4 made that we need to finish up trimming, so that's what we're going to do today. I did not finish the bunnies yet, but we're so close. So close to getting those done and underglazed. I just felt like maybe we should make some progress here with the cats. So they've just been like kind of sitting here, like, just chilling. Should probably water that clay later. Yeah, I think let's carve a little bit into this one. Got some tools. I got this super cute little pail. Isn't this so cute? It's a little tiny pail. I got this at like Kohl's. It's like some kid's like sandbox pail or whatever. But I have this like other tiny like kids pail, and it's actually really nice. I can show that one too. This one, it's really nice to just have like a little miniature bucket of water here while I'm working. Sometimes my like regular throwing bucket is like, I don't know, it just sits there and it gets stinky. So I don't know, I just like grabbed this adorable little bucket. And I love like how colorful it is, because like, I mean, they don't make buckets cute, you know? Unless it's for like sand castles. They don't make them cute. So I just had to get it. I love like tiny cute things. Yeah, so I didn't make any progress last night. Cause I actually sat down and was doing kind of like some research to like some local like markets that I could maybe do. Just trying to see like what is happening around town, and making notes of ones that have already passed, and I don't know, maybe something to consider next year. I didn't know it was like so popping, but apparently there are like a lot of markets that happen here just before Mother's Day, which, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. But I don't know, I just kind of like had this like generalized idea that a lot of markets would just be happening in the summer, and I don't know, I really did not find like a lot. But I don't know, I still need to do like some more research on that before I like really make any like, I don't know, decisions or whatever about it. Like, I don't know, I spent hours like kind of like half and half, like trying to see like what kind of markets happen around town, but that was also kind of looking at like some like booth ideas and stuff, because I really do want to do some more markets, and like I think it'd be really good to just like have a presence in town. There are people that like I look forward to seeing at like certain markets that I frequent, and whatever, just kind of like, I don't know, just kind of like see what they're doing, you know, what new things they have or whatever, ceramic or not, like whatever they make. So I think it's kind of good to have like a, you know, kind of like be able to do that and have like a presence in your community. Because like, I don't know, like sometimes I might not necessarily find inspiration maybe out of some things that people make. But I don't know, sometimes I just kind of want to, you know, what do they call that? Like ears to the ground or something. And just kind of like, you know, if they share like local things that are happening or, I don't know, whatever. I think it's just kind of like good to follow some local people. I mean, I'd say like the majority of people I follow on Instagram are like those that I like want to buy from, or like they inspire me for the most part. But I think it's good to like check out what's around you too. I think it's also good because like if you know what the other like you know, kind of like well-known artists are doing like in your area, like I mean like particularly because I'm selling ceramics, like I can know like, oh, like nobody is making this right now, so I'm gonna be the only person in town that has this available or something like. Whereas like if you did a market with all these people and you all have like the same thing, it's kind of like, you know, you can't really make yourself stand out. That's kind of like how I see some of the makers. Some of them, like, I don't really keep tabs on them. And I don't even know if they're like how many different people they are or like what, but there's always like ceramic artists that some of them just kind of like do the same things, and it just kind of like all blends together with like their glazing looks the same, the things that they make are the same, like they have these like massive mugs, they have these like they always have like things that are like that you could use in your house particularly, so like French butter dishes are kind of being popular. There's like these like soap like sponge holders, garlic graters, like they all literally sell the same exact things. But I know they're different ones, because when I go to like the Saturday market, it's not just one booth, there are like multiple booths that like have that stuff. So I know it's not the same person. But when I go to like different markets around town, I keep seeing that stuff like over and over. And it just all blends into like the same thing. You know? So I think it's good to like know what's being made locally, and like you know, at least for like local people that are going to be shopping at the markets and stuff, like you could know like what is already being sold, what's not being sold, and then like how you can stand out. I mean, there's like a decent amount of people that do like underglaze work, But I feel like the majority of what I see here in Portland is like, I don't know a ton about like the process or like the differences, like what it looks like, but I know there's like salt and soda firing where it looks like it turns out very like orange and like brownish. Like, I don't know, they all just look the same. I'm sorry, they all look the same. Like, so many of them were like at the ceramic showcase, and like, I don't know, it's not like my thing either, because like I really like contemporary kind of stuff, and like salt and soda firing is like, I don't know, it just looks very like rustic kind of. It's just like not my kind of taste, but I feel like if you were doing that kind of like firing method, like, I don't know, like your shapes of like whatever you're making, you know, like vases, bowls, like, I don't know, whatever, I feel like they should be like significantly different, or else you just kind of like blend in with all of the other people that make that kind of stuff. I don't know, I just feel like there needs to be like something different, like really different. So that's why I think it's like good to kind of like, I don't know, just kind of like see what people around you are doing. I'm really, I don't know, I'm kind of interested in checking out the so the ceramic showcase, that's like really big like market that I went to. It was kind of like a market, but they also had like demos for ceramics happening too. It was just kind of like a fun thing. That's put on by the Oregon Potters Association, and I'm kind of interested in possibly doing a membership there. Apparently they meet like every few months, and I don't know, like have like presentations or something. And it looked like, I don't know much about them, but it looked like they put on like a few different markets around town. I think they're all markets. I don't know. I just had like a list of things. But you have to be a member to like sell at the market. But I don't know, I'm just kind of like, I'm a little interested in checking it out. Just I don't know, I think it'd be kind of fun. It said something about Zoom. Some of them are like Zoom meetings or something. I don't know. But I think it'd be kind of fun if like, you know, like you go like in person to these like meetings. Like you could actually like meet people and stuff that do ceramics. I think that'd be really cool. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it depends on like the setting and stuff. I don't know, I get kind of like introverted when I'm like in like really big spaces with other people. I went to that Adobe networking event. I told you guys about that. And I did not talk to like, I talked to like a few people that like came over to our table. But I did not like, I did not like go out my way to like talk to anyone. I was like, I don't know. I really wanted to, but I was like kind of like just like scared. And then like there were a lot of people that showed up, and then I was just kind of like, I don't know, a lot of people were like already talking to other people, and like you just kind of feel weird like joining a group of like 6 people that are already talking to each other. I don't know. I was just like, but so I have no idea if they would actually be something I would like or not, but I guess it kind of depends on the setting and all of that. I really do want to like meet other people like that locally do art. I'm so bad at I'm so bad at networking with people. I don't really like do much of that or anything. There's like there's a app called Meetup, and you can like search your area for different different meetup groups. There is an art one that I do frequent. But I haven't really like I don't really like keep up with people or anything, or like get their number or like that kind of thing. Like some people like I've seen a few times like at the meetings, a lot of the times there are a lot of different like they're different people for like the majority of like who shows up. But I'm pretty good with those because we just kind of like grab a table at some bar, like a table or two or something, and like chat about art, and I don't know. Because you're like already sitting at a table, like I don't know, it just like feels a lot easier to like talk to people and like I don't know, ask them whatever they do. But yeah, I'm so bad at like small talk with random people. I'm planning on going to that on there's one next Tuesday that I'm kind of excited to go to it because I haven't been to it like all winter. I don't even know if it happens in the winter. I just don't go because it's really cold out, and it's pretty like sketch. Because it's like I don't like sitting at the bus stop like alone in the like it's like 5 o'clock or some or like or later, and it's like pitch black out. It's just like really sketch. And it's really cold out. There's that. But I'm looking forward to going to that, seeing who shows up. And that, like, I don't know, it's just like all kinds of people just show up. And then, I don't know, a lot of the time, like, we don't get the same people. Like, I don't know, there's this one time this guy, what does he do? He, like, I don't know, like, writes books or something, and then they're like, oh. They see, like, the people that show up, and then they, like, never come back again. I don't know, there's, like, a lot of random people that come. One time, someone, like, this lady that does, like, dancing. She, like, dances. She, like, came to it. But, like, there are not a lot of people that, like, do, like, performing arts. It's not, like, specific. But, I mean, the majority of people that come to it do visual arts. Or, like, there's this, like, tattoo artist guy that came. It was pretty cool, but I think, I don't know. I just kind of, like, get the feeling that maybe it's, like, not big enough, like, not enough people show up, or, it's just, like, not the kind of crowd that they're expecting. I think a lot of the time, I mean, there are, like, quite a few, like, different, like, people at different stages of their life that show up. But I do think, like, a lot of the time, it's, like, definitely at least like half of the people are probably like on the younger side, like 20 something. And then the rest of them are just like actual like professional people that have been doing like whatever art for like, I don't know, 40 years or something. I don't know. I'm not really sure like what people are looking for. I would like to meet people that do things that I do, like selling stuff as a like a handmade business, which is not always something that people will do. Like a lot of the painters probably don't want to do that. They probably want to get into a gallery, which is like so different. That's so different. Just not at all like what I want to do, you know? Or I don't know, some people don't want to do anything. They just, they just have their day job of something. I don't know. There's some people that do like illustration work for some company or whatever or something. Or maybe they do it for freelance and then like that's it, They don't always have like some kind of shop or anything on the side. So there's definitely a lot of different people that show up. I wish I could like talk to more people that did like a handmade business like me, because like I don't know, because someone like me, like I want to check out the local markets, and I really don't know, like I mean, just like before I did like research yesterday, I really didn't know of very many around town. And there's so many that happen, but like if you're someone that's like a local, you probably have already been to a bunch of them. You probably know, what to expect out of some. My group like recommended this one market, and it's like it's really bad. It's just like, I mean, it's fine if you were super intro to doing markets, but it's like this one market that happens, it's free, so it's like, I don't know, can you really complain? It's free to have a booth there. It's like last Thursdays. A lot of like cities will do something like this, like they will do like first Friday, first Thursday, last Friday, or whatever the heck. A lot of cities will do like one of those variations, and it's like, I don't know, they open up like a street or something, and then people have like a booth on the sidewalk selling their stuff, and usually it's like around an area where there are like art galleries, and the galleries will like open up for like these special events that happen and have like food maybe, but this one, it's like it's free and there's like no one like running it. And people just like bring like whatever they want to sell, whether that is like some, I don't know, just random stuff. Like a lot of it was just really, really weird. Like you have like these people that like actually make things by hand. There were like vintage sellers, and then like I don't know what the thing was exactly, but there were people that were like, there's like a booth that was selling like sneakers for some reason. You're like, why do you have these sneakers? Like, are these stolen? Like, why do you have this and why are you selling it? It's just like, what? I don't know. It just seemed like one of those sketch things where it's like they stole it and now they're like selling it or something. I don't know. But yeah, there's no one that like manages it really, I don't think. And it's just really just run-of-the-mill, like, random stuff. I asked Jason if we should do one of those markets, because, like, I don't know, it's free. And there are people that show up to it, so I'm like, I don't know. But it is, like, the foot traffic is super random. But I don't know. I mean, it's a go-to one because I don't have to apply or anything to it. I don't know, but it is a lot of random things. I would say it would be like really good for someone that's like, I don't know, you're like a high schooler or something and you're like, I don't know, I like making things. I like needle felting and I made these things and I want to see if people will buy them. I feel like it's that kind of case where it's like, yeah, that's good. You don't have to shell out like a bunch of money for a booth at this, like, at some kind of market. You just show up. I mean, you'd have to bring like your own table or something, that stuff. But I feel like it would be really good for that, But I don't know. I don't know if it would be like the right kind of people, because I do feel like my underglazed ceramics, which is like, they're kind of like, I don't think they're like half of what I have. I'm kind of guessing like a fourth or a third of what I have right now. Maybe like a fourth is like the underglazed ones. And I feel like they're really like a bit expensive, more expensive than like maybe what somebody would be expecting to pay for something at this type of market. I just don't know if that would really line up well in that case. If the case is kind of like people that are new to selling, just trying to get their feet wet, kind of a thing where, I mean, I don't mind like paying to do a market. I'm thinking about doing our Saturday market, which is like a big one. I've mentioned it a few times. It's kind of like, it's a good go-to one that happens every weekend for the majority of the year, except for like when it's like December-ish, like winter. Otherwise, it's pretty much like happening, but I am so confused. They have like, before you apply, you have to read like their manual, and it's like 30 pages or so of things that you need to read, and it's really confusing. I don't know, like, my brain was just like dead last night when I was like trying to read it, and I sent it to Jason to read. I was like, can you read this and tell me what it says? I was just like, my brain is too mushy to understand what they're saying. And then he read it and he's like, I don't really know either. And I was like, awesome. We're both really confused about whatever the heck. There's so many things. And I'm like, why did they have to make it so complicated? Normally, a market is like, oh, there's a period when you can apply for it. You apply for it before that period closes. They review the applications. And then you either hear that you got in, maybe you hear that you didn't get in. And then, you know, if you did get in, they probably send you more details. But like this thing, they like, you have to read this like 30-page manual like before you apply, and it has like all of these things. It's like saying things like you have to choose a membership. They don't say how much a membership costs, which I'm like, what is included in the membership and how much is that? That's not even in the 30-page manual that they give you. And I'm like, what? I don't know. Maybe I'm just missing something. The whole thing is really confusing. And then there's like a probationary period where it's like all new vendors are on probation for 6 days. And it's like, what do you mean 6 days? Like, is it like the first 6 days of markets that are available? Do I have to go to every single one of those? Can I choose which markets I go to? I'm like, what? And like, I don't know. And then it's like, after you're on probation, you can choose your membership, and you have to pay your membership fee and your booth fee. And I'm like, okay, but what if I don't want to be a member? Which, like, you can do, but it, like, doesn't really, like, specify that. And I'm just like, what? I don't know. I'm just like, what the heck? Like, why is this so convoluted? So, yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to, I don't know. There's something in there that says that, like, if you're like a fill-in member, you have to attend like 2 markets every month or something. That's kind of a lot. Like, if I, like, is that something I have to do? Do I not have to do that? Because if so, like, when am I supposed to be making things? Like, sorry, but we're not all full-time artists, you know? Like, some of us have day jobs and work 40 hours a week, or possibly more. You know, I'm just like, what the heck? I'm like, how am I supposed to have time to make new things if you're like at 2 markets a month? I don't know. I mean, it doesn't, like, it sort of doesn't sound like a lot, but it's kind of like a lot. I think, like, if I were to be consistently going to this market, I mean, once a month is like, maybe. I don't know. Because, like, what if you sold out? I mean, like, it's probably unlikely, but, like, you can't be sure of anything, you know? So you're like, what if you sold out and then you just didn't have anything to bring, you know? And, like, ceramics, like, turnaround is pretty long. I mean, I have like 1 week that things are like in the bisque kiln, another week where they're in the glaze kiln. That's 2 weeks out of the month, you know? And then you have to have like time to like actually make the stuff, which is probably more than 1 week. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know if anybody that follows me on YouTube or Twitch are local to me. I really don't know, but I'm figuring it out. If you want to meet me in person, I'm figuring it out. I'm sure there are like so many other markets that happen too that I need to kind of like find out about and like maybe check on. If you're interested in doing markets, it's really important to get down like certain details to figure out before you just like go and apply, because that could really, if you miss a detail, it could really make or break that event for you. And I would say like most times markets are pretty expensive. If you're not really like, if you're not really like a established kind of like artist in the area, you know? So when I'm checking out markets, what I like to do is, well, I have a little notebook that I am keeping track of ones in there. So I'm keeping track of ones that are upcoming, noting the dates whenever I can find dates. And then even noting ones that have already passed, because maybe it's something I'll want to do next year, like something to consider next year. But you want to, I think start off with just kind of like maybe checking out like the size of it. You want to be a bit wary of ones that do not list how many vendors will be there. Because if they're not listing how many vendors, it might be sketch. Could be. You don't know, but it could be. So you want to try to like figure out like how big this market is, how many vendors are typically there, what the foot traffic looks like. So a lot of the markets that I see have their own Instagram, and then you can check that out for like photos. Like try to figure out like how big the space is. Maybe you can see like, I don't know, even if you like looked on Google Maps at like the space, you don't really know like how much of that like building or whatever they actually use for the market and take it up, because they could just like pipe and drape a portion of it off. I don't know. So you want to try like look up photos and stuff. And then people might even like use hashtags or something for the market. So yeah, check out size and how many people are gonna be there. I would say the ones that I'm kind of looking at and hoping to get into would be ones that are, I mean, like maybe like definitely at least 100 vendors, maybe somewhere around 150 would be a little bit more ideal. That's kind of what I'm looking at, what I'm hoping to get to. And yeah, definitely check out photos. A lot of them will have their own website too that might have information. It can be good to check out the other types of sellers that show up there. I've seen a lot of markets that list the sellers. So you can go check out the kind of people that have been there. If it's an upcoming one, they might not have that. But if it just happened, like from Mother's Day markets, they might have something on their website that shows the vendors that showed up. So you can kind of maybe gauge like the type of things that would be there. Obviously, if it says that there are artists there, but then it's like, oh, like, I don't know, 10 of them were artists, but then the rest of them were selling vintage clothes. Like, you probably wouldn't do very well, because the people that are going to show up there ready to buy are going to be ready to buy vintage and might skip over like what you have. That's what happened to me when I would sell at the farmers market when I lived in Nebraska. We didn't have any art markets. The only thing was to do the farmers market, but even though it was kind of supposed to be half art and crafts, half vegetables and fruit, like a lot of the people that showed up there were there to buy the produce. You know, like they wouldn't even stop or glance to like look at the art or anything. So like you kind of have to like get a feel for why people are going there, and like what they're anticipating to like buy. And you want to be a good match for that. It might almost sound like, oh, like you can stand out from the crowd because while these other people that are selling vintage, you're selling like art. But like, I think for the most part, people are not going to like stop and look at what you have because they're not, like, they don't have that in their mind. So that is definitely something to check out. There are all kinds of things that you could try to look up. I try to find markets by like I save ones that I see on Instagram. I save that into like a separate folder to like come back to. So artists that like are local to me that I follow, like if they're kind of making work that is similar to me and like maybe about like the same kind of like level as me, like they're not a beginner, but they're not like some crazy ultra professional, you know, like maybe it's like a one person run business that is like handmade, like something that's around like what I do. I keep tabs on them and like, oh, they were able to get into this market. Like maybe that's something I can get into. Or like maybe it's like worth checking out. Some of them are like pop-up shops. I have no idea about those. I've never like been to a pop-up shop. I've seen some of them posted online of like, I don't know, maybe it's this like coffee shop that decided to like have a few artists or like live music or something. I have no idea about those, but they seem, unless it feels too pricey, like if it was too pricey to like have a booth there, like I probably wouldn't do that, but it could be a good opportunity if they're not charging you too much. But I wouldn't expect very much foot traffic. I don't know. I don't really know much about the pop-up markets. I try to do like the bigger ones. Like a pop-up, I would like, I've never been to one, but like I would assume that there's probably not a ton going on. Like maybe there's like 10 different people selling things. I don't know. A lot of, if you're a member of a studio, an art studio, I've seen a lot of them host their own markets. I would assume that they would try to do one for, in like November, December for the holidays, possibly a Mother's Day one, and then possibly like slightly, less likely would be like some kind of summer market. I feel like a lot of places want to hit Mother's Day and definitely hit like the holidays. Holidays obviously super popular for markets, but super competitive for applying to though. Because everybody knows, like, that's when everybody's buying things. Everybody knows you're buying things, you know? So those can be super competitive. I don't really make, like, winter type things, so I'm not really looking to be in any of those, like, holiday markets. Yeah, I try to keep tabs in that way. I just kind of try to Google to find out about markets happening around town. There's like a Travel Portland website that kind of shows like some of the local happenings. Some of the markets even have their own like business like listed on Google, like on Google Maps, and like will tell you like, oh, here's their website, here's where they have this market, and like maybe like here's when it happens or something. Like some of the bigger ones will have that, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so back to like what I look for in a market. I definitely want to, you really want to try and visit the market before you're a vendor there so that you can actually see for yourself what the traffic looks like how how people showed up here, what does the traffic look like? Like, I don't know. Is it like older people that are intending to spend like money on really fancy like high class art, like I don't know, sculptures, giant paintings, vases, like I don't know, like that is really different from people that are like in their 20s, you know, that just want like maybe cheaper type items, maybe like really weird and whimsical. Things that are for apartments versus things that are for a home. Those can be kind of different sometimes. Or like, I don't know, the types of people that show up. Some artists will go to like, what are those? Like Comic-Cons, and like they'll sell art at Comic-Cons, but like me, I'm not that kind of artist. I wouldn't really have things to sell at a Comic-Con, you know? Because I think like a lot of those kind of people would be like digital artists, like illustrators, painters, maybe, I don't know, like that kind of a thing. Unless you like, I don't know, make cosplay costumes or something. I don't know. Like that, like you want to look at the demographic too. For example, we have Art in the Pearl. That happens in like September, but that is like, Art in the Pearl is like high class. Like, people that go there and actually want to buy art are gonna buy like really expensive pieces. Like, it is like super high class. There's no way I could get in there to sell things, and I know it because it's just not the right market for me. The one time, like, I went there, like, they have paintings there that are selling for thousands of dollars, you know, like original paintings. And that is not, that's a lot. And then the ceramics that are being sold there are probably a couple $100, like, most likely, and more likely to be like more fancy and like high class and like I don't know, like that kind of thing. Like, I would not say like a trinket dish that looks like a cat is very high class. You know, it's true. We're just gonna say it. You know? It's more for maybe like a younger audience or just like a different kind of audience. And that's okay. And you have to be able to like accept, like, it's okay. Not everybody is going to buy your art, and you need to find the right places where your people are gathering. The people that like the stuff that you like. What else? So yeah, kind of like looking at the price point of the other things that are being sold at the market. That's why it's good to try and figure out like the other artists that show up there. Because you can kind of like maybe check out their website, see what types of things that they're making. And then like that's a way that you can figure out like the demographic by piecing those together. What else? I think, looking at the market can be definitely something, you know, that could make or break it too. Like, I don't really think that I would do well at a holiday market because I don't really make holiday specific things. I just don't feel like the things that I make would fit there. Because I really like things that are, I don't know, I'm just like summer fun, like that. I feel like that describes like the kind of things that I like to make, like summer fun, you know, like bright colors, maybe things that are like fruity. I really like the like fruit art and stuff. And I don't know, winter to me is just like gloomy, sad, maybe like, you know, the way people dress in the winter is very like stoic, you know, dark greens, dark, I don't know, dark everything. Like dark blues, maybe like deep maroon reds, and like, I don't know, very, you know, people aren't wearing like neon green in the winter, you know what I'm saying? So I just don't, like, I don't know, I focus a lot of my stuff to either be evergreen, or if it's not evergreen, something that is like probably like summery, because I feel like more colorful things just kind of like, I don't know, kind of like a summer tone to them. So, it's kind of good to look at like the type of market that you're looking at, because I don't know, that really wasn't something that I tried to do, but it's something that I was wondering if, like, that's why I didn't get into the winter, like, Crafty Wonderland when I applied to it, because I'm like, I don't know, I mean, I don't really have anything that's, like, screams winter, Christmas, holiday, like, anything, but I don't know. The stuff that I was selling when I applied for that was pretty, like, I felt like it was pretty giftable. Bath bombs, stickers, a bunch of different types of things, coasters. I don't know. But I'm just kind of like wondering, like, well, maybe it wasn't right either, because I don't really sell winter type things. But it's something good to consider. What else? You kind of want to, I don't know, if you can, like, look into, obviously, like, the cost of the market could be really important to you. If you're a little bit newer, like, me, like, I definitely want to look at the cost of the market, what the cost would be to be a vendor there. And that can be different if they have different size booths available. Like, Crafty Wonderland has a half booth size, but they also have, like, a full booth size. It's very typical for markets, a lot of markets, to give you a 10 by 10 space. That's, like, standard. And then, but sometimes they'll let you do, like, a half size. So it's good to, like, try to, like, figure out what that would be. It can be harder to figure that out if the market has, like, recently passed, because they're probably not going to have that information on their website. But it's really good to kind of, like, get an idea of the kind of, like, demand there is, if that makes sense. So, like, so for example, Crafty Wonderland, they have the spring Mother's Day market, and then they have the winter holiday market. I can't get any info on the spring one, because it's already passed, and what they're looking forward to is people looking for information on their winter one. And their winter one, holy cow, a full-size booth at the winter one is $550. But you have to consider that is for, I believe, 2.5 days. I think winter they do 2.5 days, and I think the spring one is maybe just the 2 days. I don't know. It's kind of a lot. Like, you definitely want to make sure that you can kind of, like, okay, if you're gonna do it, you definitely need to make sure you have a large inventory, and probably have, like, a variety of inventory too. So just kind of, I don't know, sometimes the way that I simplify things, I feel like it helps me if I picture it at extremes. So you could, for example, show up and have one vase, and the vase is $800. If you sold that vase, you would definitely, you would definitely profit from the market. because it covers like your booth fee, and I don't know, assuming that it would pay for like the cost to make it and stuff. But what's the likelihood that's like you're gonna find that one person that is going to buy a vase for $800? Really, I don't know, like you might not find that person. But if you offer different price points for different items, so you have some that are pretty cheap, pretty affordable, but then you also have like middle and like higher priced items, like you're a lot more likely to make enough sales to cover your booth fee. So that's really good to do. So you don't want to just have really expensive things. I'm not saying that you shouldn't like, that you should purposefully like price some of your stuff to be cheap, but you can achieve that in like certain ways. Like I've seen ceramic artists that make like little magnets and like miniature vases. So like this vase, this was either $20 or $25, which I feel like is pretty standard for a miniature vase. So like I didn't have to buy some $200 vase, but that person's like, if it's scaled down small enough to like, you know, a tiny item, like you can still like, you know, not just like make your work cheaper than it should be, but you can still like meet people where they are, if that makes sense. So that's something to consider too. I'm having a hard time. We did not save enough of this area for the foot. I don't normally make it that thin for the foot. We could just shove more clay in these areas and then trim it off. I don't know. I think I might do that, but I don't always do the best when I'm adding clay. A lot of the time it like cracks for some reason. I don't know. I'm not really sure about that. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna have to come back to this because we're at time. But that's why I'm thinking about doing this. Or we could just like trim the whole foot to be like that size too, if we really wanted to. Anyway, so let's close out here on our little market chat. So definitely like, if at all possible, you really want to go there, check it out before you apply. Some markets happen like every few months. Some might be once or twice a year. It really depends on the place. I feel like the more it happens, like the smaller it is, probably. Check out the foot traffic. Like, do people show up to this place? Like, how popular is it? Do people even know that this thing is happening? Because if you show up one day and you see like nobody goes there, then it's probably not worth having a booth there. I've told this story a few times, but I went to this market. I don't know how often it happens. I think it's like every few months. I don't think it happens every month. But I went to it and literally there was like 10 vendors. 10 vendors in this like pretty big building. And I was like, what the heck? It was $100 to be a vendor there. I think it was more than that so they had an indoor and outdoor space. I think it was more than that if you wanted to be indoors, maybe. It was at least $100. And then, like, there were barely any people that showed up to, like, buy, because probably if you had ever been there, you're not going to go back. Because why would you go all the way there to see, like, maybe 10 people selling their stuff? You're not going to go there. Probably not. Unless you know these people. You know the people that are going to be there. But that's most likely not the case. So I was just like, what the heck? Maybe there was something happening in town that pulled everybody away from it. I don't know. It's possible. But I was like, holy cow, I'm so glad I came here to check it out, to see that nobody knows this is happening. Nobody comes here. Nobody, like, there are barely any vendors even that showed up for $100. Like, for no foot traffic at all, that's a lot. That, like, I felt bad for those people because I was like, what a ripoff. Like, if you're charging your vendors $100 for that day, like, you need to do marketing. You need to pull in people so that there are actually people that come to the market and buy things. Like, that's what they're paying you for, you know? Like, oh my gosh. Anyway, you know, you would think if it was $100, you would assume that, you know, you assume certain things. You assume that they're going to do marketing. You assume that they're going to get the word out. But you can't assume that. You have no idea, you know, about this. Unless you actually see, you know, posters, billboards, flyers, unless you actually see those in person. You really don't know how much effort they're putting into it. So be really careful when you're checking out these smaller markets, because they could be a waste of your money. You don't know that, you know, like, you want to be careful. Anyway, I hope this was helpful for you guys. So check out foot traffic, check out the audience that shows up there. Are there people that show up there? How many people know about this event is even happening? It's good to check out how many vendors might show up there. Check out the vendors if you can on the market's website. They usually also have an Instagram as well that you can look at. And then you can find some markets by just Googling them. I follow certain, like, local artists that I might, I'll save posts by them. If I see, like, they're going to be at, like, 4 markets this year, I can check out those markets and see if it's something I would do. And yeah, you want to check out booth fees, see what those look like. What does the application process look like? Yeah, I don't know. There's probably more to it, but I have to go. I have to go back to work. So I hope you guys liked the video, and yeah, if you're watching on Twitch, be sure to follow along. All the videos upload to YouTube at calieandco, where you can find some ceramic tutorials and other art-related videos. Be sure to subscribe there, like the video, and all of that, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Okay, all right, bye.